Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a little video with my soul sister, Kelly Suze. And I'm so delighted to have you here, Kelly. Kelly has been with me. I think you started, it's almost been a couple of years, right? That you've been listening to these transmissions.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it has been over a year. Time goes so quickly. Speaking of
Hmm.
time.
Yeah. Yes, good time. So Kelly has been part of my sacred circles, which happen every Thursday at 1 p.m. Mountain and 3 p.m. her time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And we were just messaging each other recently, and she said how transformative they've been for her. She made some comments, and so I just invited her to come on live and share about the power. And one thing we want to really emphasize is the power of distance energy, which is a lot of what Kelly does. She is a massage therapist, she does cranial sacral. She also does energy work, Reiki, and Akashic Records work long distance. And so we do kind of want to hit home about how powerful transmissions are these days, no matter where you are and no matter when you listen to them, which is pretty phenomenal when you consider like listening to a video, you get the same impact as being live. Isn't that is kind of it works. It's always worked, but it
Yeah.
is actually kind of magical, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
time is
Yes. And I think what's so important to really know is that like how much we see our bodies and our density and so we speak with our voices and all of these things that we sense with our nervous system we feel is our reality because it's able to be accessed and touched and palpated. And but what like the true truth is that there's so much beyond those experiences, those five sense experiences, and those are like the most impactful experiences.
yeah.
um yeah, and even just like so distance work versus hands-on work. I had this client who lives in Alaska and ended up having to come to Florida where I live. And anyway, came in for a hands-on session versus an over the phone session, what
Mhm.
we ordinarily had. And ended up saying that her experience. I said, oh, I'm dying to know, what's your experience and the difference between being in here in person. And she said, I usually feel it more in my body when we're on the phone. And I was like, oh wow. Because I mean, I did like physical work while she was here. And so
Yeah.
it was so cool to get that feedback because I know when I'm listening to you, Susan, like, oh my goodness, I already have a strong practice of meditation and spiritual discipline and all of those things. But being held in that container in your membership, like even if
Mhm.
I'm not even hearing your words through my senses, my my crown is open, my
Mhm.
I'm getting messages, I'm getting like the aha moments, and it's very continuous. Like the work that you do is very very beautiful and strong. And I
Mhm.
think what really brings you makes you so unique and beautiful in that container that you hold is that you hold it with such equality. Like there's
Mhm.
no like, I'm the leader and this is what we're doing. Like you share your human experience because we're all going through that human journey, which is
Yeah.
a little sticky.
Yes, it is.
It's not the funnest. And
Yes,
so
it
you normalize, where it's like, I feel the same way too. And
Mhm. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah.
yes. And also like we were mentioning, where I'm never really able to attend like while the meeting's going. I always have to listen to the recording. but I feel like I can feel your presence. I feel so close to you. I can feel your energy. I mean, everything is just as though I'm with you in the same room in a different time and space. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
quantum field.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. Yeah. So let me just explain a little bit more. If people are new to any of this, first of all, I didn't say my name. I'm Suzanne Alexandria, and so Kelly has been listening to these meetings that I hold every Thursday rather, and they're called Cosmic Akashic Circles, and that's one thing that I wanted to just put out there because it's a subscription. And if this resonates with you at all, please check it out. You can find out more on my website at suzannealexandria.com, and I'll put the link in here. But what we are, Kelly, one of the things is that it's such a co-creation. And I think that's why you feel it, because you bring your soul to it. You dedicated yourself to participating live or in the recordings for at least a year or more. And so what happens is that all the guides that I channel, they know that you're in the circle. They know who all is in the circle. And it's going to benefit every one of you who are, registered, and whether you, like I said, whether you come live or not. And, because spirit meets you, as one of my dear friends says, spirit meets you at the point of action. So even just intending that you're going to actively be part of this circle, that is, as we're talking, like, that is exactly why it touches you, because the spirit knows what Kelly needs, and spirit knows what everybody else needs. And then I just get to channel the message du jour and the energy of the day, and it's a pretty beautiful energy bath. So I wasn't even thinking about that as part of the special sauce of those calls. But it really is, because it's the one time of the week where I really open my channel, and it's like so many different beings come through. Like last week, it was Native Americans. And
Yes.
that one was, I had never channeled Native Americans before. And it was like this beautiful group of beings. And they talked about how they know about oppression, and they know about the world changing, times when the world has been changing so rapidly. But they were so clear about how they're holding energy for humanity to wake up, weren't they? Like, and I never would have thought that before,
Yes.
that was even a thing that a group, such a specific group like that, would be doing for us. But they were really blessing us with that knowing, and with so much more. And that again also is because of everybody who showed up, because everybody who is interested in this kind of thing tends to be quite progressive and quite a, transformative soul
Right.
yourself. We're all like moving the needle. And when we do it in these large groups now, we are really moving the needle. I know that, like, more than ever now. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
mhm. So I was wondering if you might just share any like times or things where you've had ahas that you were talking about in our email thread, if whatever would come to mind that you'd like to share
Sure.
and to hear. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I've got several I could call on, but one more recently, and the Native American uh one was amazing. Like I did it, so I re-listened to it a second time because I thought that was so profound. I could sense there was more depth that wanted to come through, like another layer. And
Yeah.
and it really did. Like the more that you listen to things, if they're drawn, like sometimes things are one and done and we try too hard as humans, but when your
Right.
soul is calling in, like, oh no, there's more. So that was great, and I could really experience like a heart space activation with
Mm.
the horse, and it was a really interesting thing. It was almost like when you said, now touch the mane or look at the mane, I saw myself like touching my hair with the hair of the, and it was like a crown activation.
Oh,
uh,
wow.
yeah,
Cool.
it was really, really profound. Um,
Wow.
but another one that was even more profound was, and it's like, I mean, can you really measure these things? Not really,
Yeah.
but yeah, but
We can
one that,
talk about them. We can understand them to a degree even, but not even, right? It's like
yeah,
you don't really understand how that could even happen, but like what you just said, but you do know something in you knows that
yes,
that it's a thing, what it something deep inside knows what it is.
right,
Because
yeah,
it's your, yeah.
and it's so beyond our thought. Like I wasn't imagining, you know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh, and then maybe I'll pick up my hair and put, you know what
Right.
I mean? It's this essence that's showing you the activations that's happening. It's far beyond what our thoughts are thinking. It's an embodied um vibration that's creating a transmission. But
Mhm.
the one that I had also pretty recently, I was listening back to the one where we took it. It was supposed to be Buddha that was going to come in, but we ended up doing like a journey of our the things that we had lost, like our special
Mhm.
senses when we were children. Like where, do you remember? Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a little kid, and there was this injured stray cat, and again, beyond my thought, like I don't even, I never think of that time. It's
Right.
just when you were taking us through the journey, suddenly that memory popped back in my head, and I remember I was like, I know that I can heal this cat, and I would lay my hands on the cat and like just whatever I was doing. And then all of the kids were like, "Oh, Kelly, and can heal broken lung syndrome in kitties." And they were making fun of my internal knowing that I knew that I had this healing ability to genuinely manipulate the way that our DNA and cellular structures are emitting our health.
Hmm.
And so, not that that really stopped me, because that is what I do for a living, but I felt like it was such a beautiful clearing of shame or embarrassment around,
Hmm.
because what we do is it's quite unique, and it's obviously becoming far more mainstream and accepted, but it still is like seen as like, oh, woo woo or whatever.
Yeah.
And
It's
and
it's it's astonishing how much it still is, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, when people are like, "Do you believe in?" and it's like, "Believe? No, no, no. I I know for
Yeah.
certainty."
Do you believe in, do you know what chakras are? I kind of like was part of a conversation of that recently. Like I overheard and I thought, wow, that is fascinating. It's,
Yes.
I know our world is I know I'm surrounded by so many people who are who do know, but there's still plenty who don't, and that's not to say anything is wrong with that,
Of
but
course.
knowing, I mean, it is my wish that the knowing of all of this just get so widespread, because I've always said we should take care of our energy just as much as we brush our teeth, like take
Yes.
care of ourselves energetically, whatever that is, ought to be a part of our daily, everyone's daily routine. It's like a whole
Agreed.
massive piece of the who we are never gets any attention for a lot of people. And that's why things can be so chaotic. So I used to say
Yeah.
that a lot, like take care, just like you brush your teeth. It needs to be that mainstreamed. And
Yeah.
it will be someday.
Yeah,
I,
for sure. I mean the way that, oh, I what I would is, one of my biggest passions is that it's like, guys, life can be so magical. You know what I mean? We do have this ability to self-heal, and we do have the ability to, like you said, you were tapping into a field where it's like you would have never thought. You weren't creating a thought that the Native Americans were going to come through. They
Mhm.
just presented themselves and you facilitated that for coming through. And the
Mhm.
same thing happens to me in my sessions all the time is I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is amazing. I'm just hearing of this right now. So let me make sure I'm getting a good, foundation of what my knowingness is before I share it with you. And so it's so validating because if you think about it, the all that we know is the past. We don't, that's all we know. So if we focus on the things that we know, we're perpetuating past loops, which is karma, right? And
Mhm.
so that's why it's so important to come into that sovereignty of trusting, you know what I mean? That we
Yeah.
are that light, that we are beyond our thoughts and beyond our body, so that it is magic. And that's why I think both of, you and I are so passionate about. It's like, there's so much to discover, there's so much to feel, there's so much to see. And so your weekly check-ins talk about hygiene. I mean, even if somebody doesn't have like the discipline to do, or and I don't mean that in a negative term, but the spiritual discipline as a routine, just just that once a week is going to
Mhm.
be so great where it's
Yeah.
guided. You're
Oh,
not in
thanks
this
for
alone.
saying that. I'm just so glad. Yes, actually, that is true, right?
Yes.
I do like to say if it's the one time a week you give yourself to receive a huge download from a group of the most loving beings in the universe and get zhuzhed back into alignment, really. Because right, they always leave you not only with awareness of something you didn't think of before, it's always I can't believe how it always shocks me what comes through that's every week that's like, oh my gosh. I often say, right, I did not expect that. I always
Yeah.
I always think I know what the topic is gonna be, and then like so much more expanded, or they surprise me and like you said, someone else comes through. But yeah, thanks for saying that. Because if any of you listening are keen to have a real beautiful grounding and getting all of your system back into ordinance once a week, that's really what those calls are for. So it's a beautiful way to keep up.
It is. And like you were saying, everyone's energy is such a contribution to one another. And it's like, man, in our world, it can be difficult to find that the camaraderie of like-minded individuals who want to boost each other up. It can still be such a competitive kind of world, and
Yeah.
one where we do comparisons. And the way that you hold that space, it's so safe. I know that no one, wants, it's a safe place to share your vulnerabilities, where no
Yeah.
one's like, oh man, where are you on your spiritual path? You know what I mean? It's a
No,
judgment
yeah.
free zone.
Yeah.
And that's really a beautiful place to build one another and continue to evolve. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. That is one of like I've always felt so blessed that I think it's not uncommon for light workers to be when we're hosting those such sacred ceremonies. I mean, it is very, very sacred. The there's is zero ego. Like there can't be.
Right. And
There,
there's no room for it. Yeah.
yeah. It absolutely does not exist. And that also allows for everyone to be able to feel safe to open their hearts. And, as I always guide, like open your energy field and just sit back and receive. And it's like a dose of heavenly light into the earth realm, literally heaven on earth. And it's
Yes.
always such an honor to do that. And I think like I was just seeing like the guides were showing me the reason they do change sometimes, because I might get the idea of what we're gonna be talking about in the morning or the day before, and then the reason they change, they're literally showing me it's because when the people get together, the souls that are present, and I don't
Mm,
want to say anymore. I've been learning not to even to say higher self anymore because we don't want to create separation.
mm.
But like the soul selves communicate, and they're the ones like your soul, everyone's soul is like, hey, we need this today,
Yeah,
which that's why sometimes it can shift on a dime because the collective um decides, which I never thought of before. I never realized that's why that happened, and it kind of happens often. So
yeah. That's amazing. Yeah,
is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like everyone, you all place your order.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's why that's another reason it's so powerful, because it's like, oh, I'll have that today, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Yeah, I never
Yes.
thought of it that way. It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I know. Go ahead.
like I would love to know do you have any favorite guides that come through?
Well, this year I've been really attuning a lot with Kuan Yin and dragon energy. Most
Mhm.
recently, Segment came through,
Mm,
and you did mention Segment, and I was like, what
yeah.
a confirmation! Oh my God.
Oh,
Because it's like, when do you ever mention Sekhmet? Never,
right.
you know what I mean? And then as soon as she aligned with me, it comes out of your mouth. And I was like, oh my gosh, we can't make this stuff up. You know
No,
what I mean?
dang. I know that's what we're talking about. We're co-creating the magic. That,
Yes.
yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah, I met Sekhmet in her temple in Egypt, and I love her so much. She's so like fierce, loving mother goddess. Love. It's really,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So what else? Maybe is there any other highlight that comes to mind that just might inspire someone to join our circle? Because that's what I would love, is to inspire you, if you're listening to this, to try it out.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, gosh, there's so many good things about it, but I will say, maybe just as like a final, like, just give it a try, is sometimes we wake up and are like, you know what I mean, a little stuck in our humanness, and so I think when I wake up in that way and I'm like, you know what I need to listen to, I just need to listen to Susan, and just put on it doesn't even matter, you know what I mean, because no matter what chooses me, let's be
Yeah.
honest, or the recording is always like, that's exactly what I needed. And
Oh,
it
I love that.
yes, and it's so important, like, to be able to show up as our best, especially when we're giving, because I know that a lot of us members are energy workers, and
Yeah. Hmm.
it's so important to remain in our best alignment, and so that you even, I mean, you don't
Hmm.
even know how much you help to build me up and realign me, because
Oh, that's really great to hear. Yeah.
yeah. So it feels good to have that comfort and magic at my fingertips. I have all the recordings.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the recordings, because when you subscribe, you do get access, like right now, to this whole year of recordings. And so I do have people who will listen, like if they can't sleep in the middle of the night, they turn that on. And it's always an honor. Because like I know it's not that they want to, like they do end up falling asleep, but they find great comfort in it. So
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't matter also if you are hearing the words, right? You're getting the energy.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the container you hold. Yeah,
Mhm.
you could just say nothing. But
Yeah.
although I love what you say, but
Mhm. Yeah.
it's just you and your intention, and then us and our intention that creates, like you were saying, this soup of magical, like
Yeah.
let's all come together and be magic, because we can be in here. We
Mhm.
can't always be out there, you know?
Yeah, that's yes, 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 yes. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I just really appreciate you dropping in to share some
Absolutely.
of your experience. And if you're listening to this and it piques your interest, you can find the link to subscribe here with this video. And I would love to see you and be part of the magic. And you, like we said, you would start to receive what your soul is there for. So it's
Mhm.
really fun. So
Yeah.
the more the merrier. So thank you. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Aw, thank you. This was so
Thank you.
fun. I'll talk to you soon.